Good morning, students. Welcome to your computer class. I am Sunny. So, students, this is our last day of this week, and also the last class before we go for the vacation. So, today we are going to discuss the answers for the questions which we have completed after our first discussion. So, we'll start here. So, what we'll answer first is the question number 5 of answer the following, which is what is an antivirus software, and give some examples of antivirus software. So, what is an antivirus software? Now, in if you remember, we discussed about antivirus software being designed to detect and remove viruses from the computer system, and there are certain types of virus which are very difficult to remove and causes damage to the computer. So you can mention that how antivirus is helpful in removing those viruses. We are not going to talk about the viruses which doesn't get detected from the antivirus also, because that's not the part of the question, right? We can mention it that the antivirus softwares are really helpful or act as a defense system for the computer. So there are a lot of things which you can mention it, and you can mention it in your own words. I would encourage you to avoid using the bookish language or the book words, and try to make a answer on your own and answer it. The guideline which I have shared, the answer can be within that. Now give some examples of antivirus software. Any four you can mention it. You can mention about Avast, you can mention about Avira, you can mention about Norton, Kaspersky, Quick Heal, K7. So there are so many of them. So any four you can mention it as an example of antivirus software. So moving to the next questions. So the question is, list the steps that can be taken to protect a computer from getting infected by different types of malware. So in malwares, we learned about worms, we learned about Trojan horse, and we learned about spyware. Now, when we are talking about worms, Trojan horse, and spyware, we also discussed about how they they make, like worms, for example, it affects the computer network. Trojan horse uh, gives access of your computer to others remotely controlled, right? And spyware is something which consumes a lot of memory and takes all the file and just transmit it to the other user who has actually installed spyware in your computer. Now there are no specific steps on dealing with them. So if you turn to page number 121, there are steps being given of to protect the computer. Now we will have to select the answers from here. Like for example, while dealing with a malware, the first and foremost, the basic step is to have an antivirus software program and to update them regularly. The second step, the second point could be using the original operating system. Then always is scanning the pen drive and before we copy them. So there are a lot of things mentioned here. You can answer any of them, you can, by choosing the points from here and making and try to answer in your own words, which I would strongly encourage you to do that. So this, if you're mentioning 2 to 3 points, I think that should be considered as sufficient for the answer to this question. Moving to the next one, we will move to the fun time, which is on page number 124. So the question is, identify the name of the following antivirus programs and write their names. So the first one is, as it is written there, it is Quick Heal Total Security. The second one is McAfee Antivirus. The third one is Kaspersky, and the last one is Avast. Remember, Avast logo, where it is written as AVAST, has got an exclamation mark at the end of it, right? So that is not an I, it is Avast with an exclamation mark. So if you're writing it, you can add an exclamation mark to it. So we'll move. I hope all of you would have got the answers and all of you would have got it right. But please look out for the spelling mistakes. If you find any spelling errors there, try to correct it right away itself. Now students, we are going to discuss about our holiday homework. Now, holiday homework is very simple and very easy. I'm sure you would enjoy doing this, and there will be a learning. There will be something learning by doing this homework. Now, in your computer notebook, you will have to answer any one of the following questions. So, any one of your choice, whichever you feel is exciting or whichever you feel is interesting, you can choose it and do it in your computer notebook. Now, what are the questions? It is draw a chart on types of viruses, and if you want, you can color it, you can shade it. You are most welcome to do that. The second question is to draw a chart on types of malware and color it. Now, you will be using your creativity here on how you draw these charts, right? And how you classify these malwares into different groups, right? So do it in your computer notebook, any one you have to do. So this would be your homework. And students, this as we are going off, on a vacation, and as I said earlier, it's our last class, it is very important to stay protected, complete your work, try to stay at home as much as possible, spend quality time with your family, and use this vacation for yourself in doing something productive, right? We will again meet after the vacation. Till then, stay home, stay safe, and happy vacation. Thank you, students.